In line with promoting transparency and monitoring public sector expenditure, the Center for Fiscal Transparency and Integrity Watch has created advocacy for different acts such as the Money Laundering Act and the Terrorism Prevention Act. Barrister Angela, the Board of Trustees chairman, stated that the Transparency and Integrity Index is to enhance good governance within the public sector and promote accountability.
We use advocacy, to work with our partners, to work with government agencies, and eventually 3 very important bills were passed. And these were the Process of Crime Act. Of course, the process of crime, some of the time it is misused and mischanneled and all that. And so that act is a very, very important act, so that this process can be used for the development of our nation. We were also able to get the Money Laundering Act passed, and then the Terrorism Prevention Act. All these were passed, helped by the advocacy which we did along with our partners and government agencies with whom we work really very closely. A very big project that we have taken on is also the Transparency and Integrity Index. This index is an initiative of this center, and it is focused on enhancing good governance within the public sector by assessing critical variables, promote accountability. The conception of the Transparency and Integrity Index is in line with our objective of promoting transparency, monitoring public sector expenditure, and strengthening the integrity mechanisms of public institutions. The assessment follows a conscientious review of international conventions and commitments, among which include the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, which I mentioned before, the Open Government Partnership, the African Union Convention on Preventing and Combating Corruption, Sustainable Development Goal 10 and 16, and others.
She also said local government will be featured this time around, as they have been overshadowed for a very long time.
You realize in this country that local governments are becoming, overshadowed by states, and yet they are the top tier of the government of Nigeria. So in the next one, the local governments will feature. The scores will be there. If they score 0, we'll say they score 0, and we'll send them the scores afterwards so that they know how badly they are doing. And this is for the benefit of the citizens. Because if you don't know what is happening in the country, if you don't know what your government is doing, how do you participate? This is why ignorance has taken over everywhere. Easily people are bought, their votes are bought, because they don't know anything. But if you empower people with information, if you empower people with knowledge, then they will be able, to decide on information, on what they know. They won't become so easily, confused.
Umar Yakubu, the Executive Director of Center for Fiscal Transparency and Integrity Watch, said the meeting is aimed at introducing some new measures of preventing corruption and improve good governance.
The essence of the meeting today is just to see how we can introduce some new measures of preventing corruption, basically to improve governance in Nigeria. A lot of work has been done on the reactive side. We want to see how we can do on the preventive side, which is by making MDAs, but that's government agencies, to be more responsible in publishing information that is supposed to be out there in the public. So that's the essence of today's meeting. We want to improve the transparency where all MDAs, federal, state, and local government, will all be publishing information that has to do with the budget, with procurement, with auditing, on their human resources, and all other information that has to do with good governance. Let them publish it, let it be in the public domain. Because what we have realized is that the more transparent governments are, the more the democracy will be stronger, and the more you will have a stronger country.
Dorcas Olariwaju, Voice TV, Nigeria.